Namaste everybody. I welcome each one of you to Udaya's classroom. In today's class, we are going to talk about joint stock company. Come, let's get started with the class. Joint stock company. First, let's see the definition of a company. A company formed and registered under the Act or under any previous company laws, which means any company, if we take up, the company would have been registered under the Companies Act. So, as per the Companies Act 2013, Section 3, the company would have been registered, or else the company would have been registered with the previous company laws, that is old companies laws. So, this 2013 company law is recent one. With that, the company would have been registered. Old companies and all, if we take up, it would have been registered with the previous company law. So that is the definition. So any company, it would have been registered with the company's law. So that is the definition of a company. Let's see the definition of a joint stock company. Joint stock company has been defined by many authors in different ways. We have taken Justice Lindley definition. Let's see, a joint stock company is an association of many persons who contribute money or money's worth to a common stock and employ it for some common purpose. Let me tell you the meaning of this definition. A joint stock company means it's an association. That means a group of people will be joining together to start up a business. So after forming the association, each and every person will be contributing in the business. So how the people will be contributing? Maybe some people would have contributed as money. Some people, they may not give as money. So they will be contributing as building or any land or any other asset or any other machines. So that is called money's worth. So money or money's worth to a common stock. So it will be considered as stock together and employ it for some common purpose. So all these stocks will be employed in the business. That means engaged. It would have been used for the business. So that is used for a common purpose. So why the company has been started? In order to achieve some common purpose. That is, common purpose would be to earn profit or any other things. So if it is a not-for-profit organization, not-for-profit company, it will be started for the purpose of doing some welfare for the society. So if it is a company to earn profit, if they have started, it will not be considered as a not-for-profit organization. So joint stock company is something different. So these are all the definitions. This is the definition of a company and this is the definition of a joint stock company. Now let's have a look at the features of a joint stock company. Features of a joint stock company. The first feature that we have is artificial person. A company will be called as an artificial person because a group of people forming the company by registering the company under the company's law. So after registering the company will get an identity. The company can acquire land on its name and it can purchase building, it can do anything on its own name, and even company will be having bank account on its own name. Say like human being, if the company wants to borrow any amount, it can borrow on its own name, and lenders also will be giving money for the company. Only thing, company cannot run like a human being and it cannot sing and it cannot breathe like human being. But other than that, this company can do everything related to the company's activities. So this is about the artificial person. So after registering, the company will be getting the identity and it will get the legal status, it can function on its own and it will get some individuality, right? So next feature is separate legal entity. As I said, after registering the company under the Companies Act, it will get the separate legal status, which means the company can sue case against any other company or it can be sued by any other company. So it will get a legal status So in the eyes of law, the owner and the company is not same. It will get distinct from its members. So a company and the members are called as distinct entity. It will not be, they will not be called as same persons. So the law does not recognize the business and the owners are same. It will be considering both are different persons. Moving on to the third feature, formation. Company cannot be formed that much easily until it gets started. Why? Because it has got more legal formalities and the procedures, the documentation procedures are more for the formation of a company. So after starting the company, it will be easy. So formation has got lot of procedures and legal formalities. Moving on to the next feature, perpetual succession. Perpetual succession means the company cannot be closed or winded up immediately as per the wish of the members, because the company is started by the law and it should be entered, winded up only by the law. It has got some procedures. So immediately, if people think immediately, they cannot wind up the company. So it is perpetual succession. So it has been started by the law and it should be ended up only with the law only. And moving on to the next feature, control. The control of the company would be with the top level management. That is, the top level management will be appointing some next level management to manage the business activities, and the board of directors will be nominated by the shareholders of the company. So the board of directors will be answerable or accountable for the shareholders. So the shareholders, those who have invested their amount in the business. Okay, so the control will be with the board of directors. So on behalf of the members, the board of directors will be doing all the managerial activities, but the shareholders cannot take part in the day-to-day activities of the business. But after investing the amount in the business, they will be called as owners of the business, but they cannot take part in the day-to-day activities of the business. On behalf of the members, the board of directors will be taking part, and they will be giving voice for the members of, that is shareholders of the company. On behalf of the shareholders, the board of directors will be giving voice, and they will be discussing everything. Okay, so moving on to the next feature, liability. So coming to the liability part, the members or the shareholders of the company will be liable up to their capital contribution in the business. And the same way, we have talked that the business and the owner is different and the distinct entity. As like sole proprietorship or partnership, they need not to sell their personal property and they need not to repay the debts of the company, because both are different. That is, the business and the owner is different and distinct entity. So the liability would be up to their capital contribution only. If in the case of debt of the company, the company's assets will be sold and the liabilities of the companies will be repaid. So assets and liabilities will be balanced and then company debts will be repaid. Alright, and the next feature is common seal. The company may or may not have common seal. So some companies will be having common seal and some companies may not have common seal. So in the documentation, because it is an artificial person, isn't it? So artificial person means it cannot sign. So for that purpose, seal will be prepared in the name of the company. So the company will be affixing the seal in the documents. So natural person will be signing. So the company is an artificial person, it will have a common seal. In case if the company does not have common seal, authorized person will be signing in the documents, it will be accepted. Alright, moving on to the last feature, risk bearing. Risk bearing, if the company has got many debts, business debts means the shareholders will be contributing and then they will be trying to repay the debts of the company. How the shareholders will be contributing means Up to their capital contribution, the shareholders are liable. Say for example, I am one of the shareholder of any of the company. My shares worth rupees 1 lakh. I have paid 50,000. The balance 50,000 I need to pay. So balance 50,000 I can contribute and I can bear the risk of the company. That's all. So the same way all the shareholders will be contributing their capital. So every shareholder responsible up to their capital contribution. But in case of sole proprietorship and partnership, people are very less and huge loss also should be borne by a few people only. But company means shareholders will be in mass, so all the shareholders will be dividing the risk. So it will be easy for them to repay the debts of the company. So these are all the features of joint stock company. Having understood about the features of joint stock company, we'll end up this session today. I'll meet you in the next session with a new lesson. Till then, it's bye from Udaya.